Today, we dive into the world of Formula One and, more importantly, the Las Vegas Grand Prix. From track design to controversial decisions, join us as we unpack the complaints and criticisms swirling around the high stakes event. Buckle up for a deep dive into the Las Vegas Grand Prix. What's going on, you guys? It is your boy, the American F1 fan, Eric Ringel here, and we are talking the Las Vegas Grand Prix. We are just under a week away from the race itself, and there is so much to talk about coming up this week as we head to Las Vegas. Now, one of the first things that I think, and I discussed this in a video just prior, kind of questioning whether this racetrack was ready for Formula One and for, these large crowds that are going to arrive in Las Vegas. But there are several criticisms that we need to take a look at and really kind of figure out, is this race exactly what Liberty Media and Formula One wanted to present to its Formula One fans? So going into this weekend, I think one of the biggest criticisms has come from a lot of the Las Vegas residents and the Las Vegas workers, and it's been, how the construction has, kind of turned their lives upside down, and the construction of the track, the construction of the grandstands, the blocking off of, certain areas of the tracks so you can't see from outside of, where the venue is going to be located. And I do have to say, I understand people's criticism, but this is where I'm going to kind of fight back on it. Now, Formula One announced this race just over a year ago, that this race was going to occur. So residents of Las Vegas, and workers of Las Vegas knew this was coming for some time. This race was no big surprise getting thrown at them at the last minute, or, it was going to be a race that, kind of got thrown together, like we had during times of COVID when we were having to literally figure out what track we were going to be able to race at because of, what guidelines were in place. This has been in place literally for over a year, and probably a little bit even longer than that, because there were always the rumors, the about a month or two leading up to the race, the announcement of the race, there was the rumor that they were going to be racing in Las Vegas. And while I understand that it may, kind of turn things upside down for the residents and for workers, it's fixing the infrastructure of Las Vegas. I mean, they're doing road work on, the strips of Las Vegas where, it's going to improve not only the racing, but it will improve daily life once this construction is over. Because here's the one thing that I think a lot of people are, looking at short term more than they are long term. They see that all this construction is taking place, all this new asphalt, all this new cement is being laid, all these new buildings are being built, the new paddock, the hospitality areas. The thing is, and this is what they have to realize, this is what they're hoping is a one-time thing, that they literally have to pave the roads one time, and that they won't have to do it again for, 5 to 7 years. Maybe they'll have to resurface some areas, maybe fix some of the asphalt, whatever the case may be. But it's not only improving the race quality, but it will, in the long run, improve the infrastructure of the Las Vegas Strip. I think it not only adds a little bit better of a look when you see, the roads being nicely paved and they look a lot neater than they did in the past. I think that gives more curb appeal to Las Vegas. And, granted, Las Vegas has some problems here from time to time about their curb appeal and, what it looks like there. So I think by adding these new buildings and adding, all this new infrastructure, it really improves, you know, not to the point where everybody's just going to want to go to Las Vegas, but it improves, I think, everybody's way of life there. And I mean, let's be honest, it did add jobs to the economy. And I think Las Vegas, and I think people sometimes forget that, this whole project in Las Vegas gave people jobs. Now, they were temporary jobs, but it gave them jobs and it was going to help the economy there in Las Vegas. So now one of the other complaints that I've heard is the weather in Las Vegas for this upcoming week. Now we are literally a week out, and so weather can change obviously from time to time, but we've heard talks that the temperatures could be anywhere from 4 to 15 degrees Celsius, which is 39 degrees to 59 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, we don't typically see Formula One cars race in this kind of environment, which I think is going to add to the spectacle, not take away from it or take away from the race. I think this is going to it's going to add another layer of strategy that is going to have to be, figured out throughout the race weekend. This is not a sprint race weekend where we only get one practice session. We get 3 full practice sessions along with qualifying and the race itself. I think this will add to the race and add to the whole weekend as a whole. Now, yes, I get that most of our races in Formula One are raced in, relatively good heat, in that 60 to 80 to 90 degree temperature range, Fahrenheit, that is. But, to have a race that's going to be kind of, it's going to throw a whole bunch of, wrenches into what teams would typically expect to do. This is going to affect, how they set up their cars, how they ventilate their cars, because, we've always seen that cars have a hard time performing at their best when it's so hot. We've seen car failures, engine failures, part failures, all that sorts. So now the fact that we're getting much, much cooler temperatures than we typically get during a Formula One race, now you've got to cover up the engine more. You've got to allow the heat to kind of build up and stay in that engine compartment. And it's going to really, I think, challenge all the teams, which is, I think, what we want, in the grand scheme of things when it comes to Formula One races. We want the teams to be challenged when it comes to setups. And this is just another challenge that is being thrown towards the Formula One teams. Now, yes, I get that Russ Braun and all of them did not figure the potential weather issues in Las Vegas into when they scheduled this race, but I don't think they necessarily need to apologize. And I know there are a lot of fans out there that are asking them to apologize and to move the race, but this is going to give us a challenge that I'm really looking forward to when I looked at the track and, just kind of looking at what teams have done so far this season with updates and, where teams have had certain issues and where teams have, really excelled. This is going to add another layer to this race that I don't think fans were expecting, but I think it'll be a welcome surprise to the Formula One fans. So looking at all of this put together, I think I'm, for one, looking forward to seeing what the Las Vegas race brings. I want to give it at least a year or two before I, finally set, my judgment on whether or not the race should happen. But I want to give it a year or two. Now, I get where, complaints are coming from, and I get that, there's a lot of construction, but I gotta say, you guys have known this for literally a year plus. You've had time to kind of readjust yourselves and to, kind of, put in the back of your mind that a lot of these things were going to happen. And, a lot of other cities, I mean, look at Monaco. They shut down almost completely when they race in Monaco. This, on the other hand, is literally for a couple days and they're done. And I think this is potentially a really good backdrop for Formula One, and really to showcase, the design skills of some of the track, engineers and the track builders. This is a really good chance to show, what potentially we could do to improve tracks, to, maybe switch from track to track on the Formula One calendar. But guys, let me know what you guys think of the comment section down below. One, what do you guys think of the Las Vegas Grand Prix first and foremost? Do you feel like the complaints are warranted? Guys, let me know all that in the comment section down below. Guys, as always, slap a like on my Formula One videos. It helps get it out to so many Formula One fans. It would help me out immensely. And then, guys, as always, if you guys are new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. We are on a challenge for 500 subscribers before the end of the season. We are getting so close. Like, so close. So please, guys, hit that subscribe button if you guys are new to my channel. But, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. And, guys, for the American F1 fan, I'm Eric Ringel, signing off.